Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of The Message. I'm your host, Donatus King. We'll spend this next hour with one purpose in mind, and that one purpose is delivering the message that God is Almighty. Everything that ever was, is now, or ever will be was made by God. Everything that ever happened, is happening right now, or ever will happen, was made to happen by God. God has a master plan for all time and all creation. God is Almighty. The message is brought to you by, is produced by the Society of Knowledge Incorporated. The Society is an interdenominational religious spiritual organization. Our members come from various different religious and spiritual backgrounds. We have various different religious and spiritual beliefs. Although we come from different backgrounds and have different beliefs, there's one belief that we share. There's one piece of knowledge that we hold in common, and that's the knowledge that there is a being. By no matter what name we may have been taught to call that being, by no matter what name we may have come to know that being, whether that name be God, Allah, Yahweh, Jesus, Buddha, Jehovah, nature, by no matter what name, we know that there is a being that possesses not some of the power, not most of the power, but all of the power. We know that there is indeed an almighty being. That's the reason we do this show, and the only reason we do this show, to deliver the message that that being that personally I call God, that being is indeed Almighty. Today is November the 2nd, 2017. That's right. Only 2 months left in this year. This year has gone by so quick. But 2 months, but there's a whole lot of living that can be done in those 2 months. And we thank God, I thank God, for letting all of us see this day, November the 2nd, 2017. I remind you of our date because tonight, as we are on most Thursdays, we are live. And I remind you of that because tonight, as we are on most Thursdays, not only are we live, but this is an open discussion, a two-way conversation. For those of you that are watching on television, I invite you to call in. You see the telephone number that's on your screen. Use that number, call in, and join our discussion. For those of you that are watching by Facebook, and I see that we have, let's see, Brother Robert, Sister Eugenia, Sister Candace, Brother Gary, Brother Carl, Brother Vince have tuned in on Facebook. Leave a comment. If you don't do anything on Facebook except say good evening, say good evening. I appreciate that. Sister Katie, thank you for saying amen. I appreciate that amen. So if you have a comment, post it on Facebook. And you know some of the things that we like to invite you to join this discussion. If there's something that's going on in your church, your mosque, your synagogue, your temple, your place of worship, and you want to share that with the world, post a comment or call in. If there's something that's going on in your nonprofit organization and you want to share that information with the world, post a comment or call in and share the information with the world. But you know, I always say, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, more important than what's going on in your place of worship, more important than what's going on in your nonprofit organization, if there's something that God has done for you in your life, a miracle that God has worked in your life, and I use that term literally, a miracle, because the God I'm going to tell you about is working miracles. That's right. In the year 2017, that's right, November 2nd, 2017, the God I'm here to tell you about was working miracles and still is working miracles. Even as I speak right now, God is working miracles all around the world, not only here in the city of New Orleans. The God I'm talking about is working miracles all around the world. So if you have a miracle that God has worked in your life, call in and share your testimony with the world, or post your comment on Facebook and share it with the world. Brother Darrell, thank you for joining in. Brother Leo, thank you. All right. Thank you, Brother Leo. Thank you for that comment. All right, we're going to get into tonight. We have a pretty packed show. And I say it's packed because we have a gentleman that's in the show tonight. For those of you that have been watching on Facebook, you see the brother sitting next to me. That's Minister Antoine Brown. How you doing, brother?
I'm blessed and highly favored. And thank God for miracles that you just spoke about. Miracles in the life of all of us today. I'm a minister, and I'm a minister that's a miracle release worker for God's kingdom. All right. Yes, I thank God. Not only that, like I still say, for my TV show that comes on at 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. on Mondays, and on Sundays at 9:30 p.m. in the evening. And for me going out into the public, touching lives. All right, because that's what it's all about. Being important. I love counseling with people going through a problem. Bring your problems to somebody so they can, work with you.
Right.
Counsel, have that relationship with you. They might can fix that problem that you're going through. You never know. I thank God for me being a living witness and a testimony. All right. That's just like I been through at the at the hospital, and they had to bring me. I'm gonna say what. Under to put me to sleep. I thank God for life. Thank God I got life everlasting. Man, I thank God for Him even being with me through my whole surgery. I'm gonna say.
All right, now, Sister Lily Mae, Brother Alfred, Sister Cassandra, thank you for joining in on Facebook. Look, Minister, you've said and you've talked about surgery. You've talked about the hospital. Why don't you just give us, our viewers, the whole story? Because that's a testimony in and of itself.
When I went into my legs was draining. I'm gonna say that much. My legs was draining.
Okay, your leg was draining.
My foot. I'm gonna say that much. My foot was draining. And
that's you have diabetes.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, I thank God for just going through with it, because people kept telling me, oh, I kept putting it off, putting it off, putting it on, putting it off, putting it on. No, don't go get it cut. Don't go do nothing. I want to take the antibiotics. Finally went through with the surgery and went on and let them cut, because it was one of the best parts about it, because I didn't want to lose my life. Like,
all right now,
come on, like my mother-in-law,
all right,
laid up there and lost her life.
Come on now,
and I thank God right now today I got life,
testimony,
life ahead of my life.
Come on,
help bless somebody else into the kingdom of Christ, of Jesus Christ.
All right, something, Minister, not to cut you off, but it's one thing for someone to sit down and praise God and give thanks and glory and all the rest of that when things are going good. But to be able to praise God and give thanks and give God the glory when things are not going the way you want them to go, that's a blessing in and of itself. And I'm sitting down here right now and I talk about you being a testimony. Man, that's a testimony. You sitting there, okay, and God could have put it in your heart that you be sitting down somewhere moping and all this, that. Man, you sitting down there, you got a smile on your face, you're giving God the praise, giving God the glory. That in and of itself is a blessing. So now you were talking about, man, look, I'm telling you about how you blessing people right now. You said that you had diabetes, or you have diabetes, and your diabetes got to the point where your foot was draining, and you put it off. You said, well, I'm going to try.
Kept putting it
off. All right.
I talked to a couple of people that knew my situation. I like, wait, no, man, no. I just don't, me in hospitals,
Come on now.
I like, no, and I just finally went through with it at West Jeff. I like, man, go have something done about this.
All right, and you had
situation,
and you had the surgery.
Yeah,
and the surgery was they amputated
and amputated my leg.
Your leg, your right leg.
My right leg.
All right, but now you know something. You said something a minute ago.
Yep.
You said that they amputated your leg. You went through that surgery, but you live right now. You're living. I'm glad you're living because I'm talking to you. And if you wasn't living, that means I'm dead too. So I'm glad you're here, brother.
I'm glad I'm here too. On earth.
Yeah, you're right.
Living God's kingdom.
Come on now.
Living God's kingdom.
All right. Well, look, you know something? Before we go any further, for those of you, for those of our viewers that this might be their first time that they're seeing you, that you have recorded some gospel raps. And so we're going to play a couple of them, and we're going to let you go ahead and perform them. So viewers, you all are in for a treat right now. And you know, if you start to moving in your seat, that's fine too. All right, Minister Brown, I think we're going to start off with checking you out. All right, 5 credits. Okay, that was the last.
Yeah.
That was the last track. We're gonna come back.
That's a very remix of the version. I'm sorry. I'm still
All right, we're gonna come back. See, that's the not the cameraman. All right, let's see.
I'm checking out the first one.
All right, there we go.
I'm checking you out like the fire of Christ, like Jesus Christ, all in my life. I'm checking you out like the fire of Christ, like Jesus Christ, all in my life. I'm checking you out like the fire of Christ, like Jesus Christ, all in my life. All in my life. All in my life. All in my life. I'm checking you out. I'm checking you out. I'm checking you out like the fire of Christ, like Jesus Christ, all in my life. Like Jesus Christ, all in my life. I'm checking you out like the fire of Christ, like Jesus Christ, all in my life. 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 All in my life, all in my life,
All right. That's Minister Antoine about checking you out.
Yep.
Like the 5 Christ, all in my life. All right, we got. Let's go this one here. All right.
Minister, you wanna be a preacher, teaching the word, touching the heart, touching the mind, and touching the soul. Minister, you wanna be a preacher, teaching the word, touching the heart, touching the mind, and touching the soul. Minister, you wanna be a preacher, teaching the word, touching the heart, touching the mind, and touching the soul.
All right, that's fantastic. I got to give you your props. All right, brother, I got to give you your props, brother. All right, Mr. Brown, there's a little bit of housekeeping that I do need to do right now.
All right.
And that's your housing situation.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you share that with our visitors, our viewers rather?
Yes, I am looking for an apartment where it's wheelchair accessible, because I definitely need somewhere to stay where I can pay my rent and everything, and enjoy my life, able to enjoy my life or whatever. And I just thank God if you can call my prayer line number, or either call the messenger, and he'll get back in contact with me for anybody that might have something available that I can afford and be able to pay rent. and be able to stay and just enjoy my life. I will have workers working with me. I'm gonna say that much. PCA workers working with me.
All right. So viewers, if you know of someone that has an apartment in what area you're looking at, New Orleans area? Or?
New Orleans East. It can be New Orleans East, West Bank, or anywhere where I can appreciate the place and enjoy my life. That's all I can say.
All right. So now y'all. All right. Now look, viewers. You can be a blessing in Minister Brown's life. And I mean, we're getting ready to get in this season now. There's, a lot of Christians say the Christmas season, and folks are talking about gifts and all the rest of that. You can be a blessing in Minister Brown's life. And understand now, listen real close to what he said. He didn't say that he's looking for somebody to give him something. He's looking for something to rent, willing to pay rent, handicapped, wheelchair accessible. So call in our Facebook viewers, and I see my wife has joined us. Good evening, wife. Brother LaSalle, Sister Sharon, Brother Monty, Brother Douglas, Sister Lisa, Brother August, thank you for joining in. And all of our Facebook friends, if you know someplace that Minister Brown can rent, be a blessing. Don't wait until December 25th. You can give him a present now. So, if you have some information, post it on Facebook. You can always give me a call. Those of you that are watching on TV, you see the telephone number that's on your screen. Those of you that are watching on Facebook, always you can just hit me on my page, post a message on there, and I'll get back with you. Minister Brown, it's been a journey that you and I have been on together for a lot of years. This going back before Hurricane Katrina. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I've always admired about you is your spirit.
Thanks.
Okay? Your spirit. And your spirit of getting it done. Getting it done. I know when you were living in Baton Rouge for a while, and you would come down to New Orleans, you'd tape your show, or you'd come and be a guest on this show, and it was, a perseverance. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we can be blessed with so many blessings that we don't really appreciate. And I say that there's so many of us that may be blessed with some material things, but because we don't have something else that we're thinking about, we get into a bad mood, we get the blues, and we give up. But as I say, brother, you've just been a beacon, and that beacon as far as persevering. When you didn't have transportation, I visited you out in Baton Rouge. Didn't have transportation, you found a way to make it happen.
Can I share this with you?
Yes, sir.
And I don't know why I'm about to share this with you. I thank God for and most people don't know about that. Then they might know about it. The Advocacy Center from New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Most people don't know how I got my State Advocate Award, a plaque awarded to me at Audubon Zoo.
All right.
Not only that, I wanted to also leave my prayer line number out with you because I got a new number now. It's 1-504-377-3816, and that's one of my prayer line numbers.
Okay. So it's 377 3816. All right, 3816. All right.
And that's one of my prayer line numbers for anybody that's going through. I don't care if they going through a problem. Mm-hmm. Feel free to pick up that phone and call. Mm-hmm. Stop holding back. Stop letting the enemy hold you down where you can't call or get delivered or get saved and get set free. So I'm willing to help a person. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, you see,
helping and changing our life.
All right. Hey, look, viewers. I'm telling you, I'm sitting down here, and I'm listening to this brother. He just talked about he lost part of his leg, looking for a place to stay. But he ain't sitting there talking. He's talking about helping somebody. Yeah, he's talking about helping somebody else. Man, that it's talking about inspiration and inspiring. You know, look. If you sitting out in your house right now moping and moaning and groaning and all the rest of that, you better get up. Yeah, you better get up. Look, the reason why God had you to tune into this tonight was so that you could get this inspiration. Okay? You could get this same inspiration. All right. All right, Mr. Brown, we're going to take a brief break, but we got about 2 minutes or so. We're going to let you have those 2 minutes. Anything that you want to share with our viewers?
I just thank God for God getting me here tonight. That's all I can say. Mm-hmm. I thank God for God, because it's all important about getting into the Word, getting into God's presence, and glorifying with I'm gonna say with my family. My NOATV family. Yeah, that's right. All I can say. All right. I thank God for what I can do.
All right. And
my life.
And I'm glad you said that. Why don't you give us the day and time of your show again?
Sunday at 9:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
9:30 p.m. every Sunday evening, and every Monday at 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. on Cox Cable Channel 76.
All right. So that's 8:30 a.m. and p.m. on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
And on Sundays, 9:30 p.m.
Yep.
All right. All right. That's Minister Antoine Brown. Minister, thank you for coming in. We're going to take a brief break. Those of you that are watching on television, we'll be back in about a minute and a half. Those of you that are watching on Facebook, you get a treat, because you're going to get a chance to see all the little stuff that be going on behind the scenes. So we're not going to take a break on Facebook. You're going to see me moving around, getting things together for the next half of the show. So, you know, if you're watching on Facebook and you want to take your little break, go grab your sandwich. You know, as I always say, go get your sandwich and a cold drink. You can go do that. Or if you want to just sit down and watch the stuff that be going on behind the scenes, you can do that. But we'll be back in just about 90 seconds. Minister, thank you.
You're welcome.
People who suffer from drug or alcohol addiction sometimes say hurtful things. They drive the people who love them most away. If you know someone who suffers from drug or alcohol addiction, listen. Try to hear what they are really saying. Know that there is hope, and help them find their voice again. For drug or alcohol treatment referral for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
We train to any environment, any situation. It could be up on a mountain, on a cliff, it could be in the ocean, it could be a dive mission, it could be out in the desert or the jungle, Arctic, and that's what makes us unique. The motto of the pararescueman is that others may live. When you go and you rescue these people, the look on their faces is extremely gratifying, and that's the reward in itself. I'm Captain John Fish, and very proud to be a member of the Air Force Reserve.
For a free booklet on the dangers of smoking, contact the Will Rogers Institute.
My name is Juliet Allen, and I've been here since 1960. And this is my home, my new home, which was replaced after Katrina and the levees failed. But all my neighbors, there are so many of them that we all lost our homes at that time. But with the Lord's help, they'll be back too, and they'll give it a try. I hope this never happens again, though. We need the 829 investigation. It's so important. Our lives depend on it.
Home invaders least wanted. Could you be the next victim? American cockroach spreads 33 bacteria and 6 parasitic worms.
And I can trigger asthma attacks.
House mouse contaminates food and transmits disease.
He's lying. Do I look like that kind of girl?
Bedbug feeds on human blood and can cause itchy welts.
Oh, yeah? What are you gonna do about it?
Here's what. Arm yourself with the facts at pestworld.org.
Every child is curious. George, look what I found. Turn their curiosity into a lifelong love of learning.
That's a periscope.
It's one of the most important gifts you can share. Create a curious reader.
Oh, you want to build a castle like that one? This is super bedtime reading.
Share a book together today. Visit read.gov.
Yeah, but did you see how much he had to drink last night? I can't believe that guy made it home. Nobody drives drunk anymore. Hold on, I got another call coming in.
While drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving and speeding fatalities have skyrocketed. Someone dies every 13 minutes from negligent driving, so keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and your phone put away.
Zydeco to me is my life. I grew up listening to this music and said, this don't look too hard to do. My Louisiana is a lot of things. Coming out to the Blue Moon, po' boys at Old Time Grocery. For the best crawfish, you gotta come to my house. We got a saying, tous les jours c'est pas la même chose, which means every day is not the same thing. This area is about having a good time no matter what's going on. I'm Terrence Simeon and this is my Louisiana.
Kids today are full of video games, computers, and cell phones. It's too much of a good thing. Get some nature into your kids. Fill them full of natural wonders, like watching the bald eagle soar, ride the rivers, fish the streams. This weekend, fill your family with the wonders of nature at a national wildlife refuge near you. Many are within an hour's drive. For locations, visit fws.gov/refuges.
America is turning over a new leaf. The SmartWay leaf from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. The SmartWay leaf will help you identify environmentally friendlier cars and trucks that can save you money. These vehicles are certified to be more fuel efficient and produce fewer greenhouse gases. And look for renewable fuels to improve our energy independence. Follow the leaf to epa.gov/smartway.
Never speak to strangers. Don't give your name, address, or telephone number to someone you don't know. And always tell me if something or someone frightens you. These are rules we give our kids to keep them safe even when we're not around.
Did you know that the same advice applies to the online world of the internet? Children can be lured into dangerous situations even in the safety of our own homes. Please talk to your kids about how to stay safe online. For tips and information, go to www.ikeepsafe.org.
I took a trip to Elkhart, Indiana today. Elkhart's a place that has lost jobs faster than anywhere else in America. The people who've lost them have no idea what to do or who to turn to. In fact, local TV stations have started running public service announcements that tell people where to find food banks, even as the food banks don't have enough to meet the demand.
My name is Mina Cray. I have been in New Orleans since 1950. I came here for jazz and never left. I had 3 fairly close friends who had AIDS, and I felt the need to do something for them in honor of them because they're all gone.
Please donate today.
Can you imagine a world without children?
A world where children don't play, or dream, or imagine.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're working every day to find cures for diseases that strike down children. Because we can't imagine a world without children. Can you?
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Call now or log on to stjude.org.
Every parent wants the very best for their child, and the very best includes getting your child vaccinated on time to help protect against serious vaccine-preventable diseases. Hi, this is Heidi Murkoff, author and president of the What to Expect Foundation. I've written the new What to Expect Guide to Immunizations, a free handbook for new and expecting parents, to help answer the questions you may have about the vaccines your child needs. The guide will take the mystery out of vaccinations and even help with some of the ouch. It tells you what you need to know about each vaccine, including those combo vaccines, and it answers questions you probably have, like why are vaccines so important, and are vaccines safe? Vaccinations are one of the most important and successful public health advances in history, and they're also one of the best ways to keep your child healthy. To learn more about how to protect your child from serious diseases, visit whattoexpect.org, download the guide, and talk to your doctor about the vaccines recommended for your child. A public service message from the What to Expect Foundation.
You have email.
Do you know what you're looking at? You're looking at a cyberbully. You rarely see one because they hide behind the nasty emails and text messages they send out about other people, about kids at school, people online. Cyberbullies would never sign their name because they're too... If you ever get a cyberbully message from one of these, don't read it, delete it, report it. That'll ruffle their feathers.
And help take a bite out of cyberbullying.
Welcome back to The Message. I'm your host, Donatus King, and we will finish this hour out the same way we started, and that's delivering the message that God is Almighty. It was a great inspiration having Minister Antoine Brown on the show. As I said, I've known Minister Brown since way before Hurricane Katrina, and he is truly an inspiration. And those of you that are watching by Facebook, I thank you for joining in. I thank you for your comments. I encourage you to share this broadcast with all your Facebook friends. And those of you that are watching by TV, again, the lines are still open. You can call in and share your comments. Today, as I said, today is November the 2nd, 2017. We're going to go through our announcements, and after our announcements, we'll have a brief discussion about All Souls Day. Today is All Souls Day. We're going to talk a little bit about what that means during our religious spiritual study session. Our words of inspiration tonight will come out of the book of Genesis, chapter 45, verses 18 through 28. Announcements. Brother Chris's prayer line. Haven't heard from Brother Chris, and I think last time I talked to him last week, he said that the prayer line was going to be reopening. I think he said November 1. So that prayer line, 504-866-5042, open Mondays and Wednesdays from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. He also has meditation training on Mondays and Wednesdays. He has a cope line and also Bible study. So if you ever feel that you need to have someone to pray with, you can give Brother Chris a call. And if you want to participate in some Bible study, you can give him a call, participate in Bible study. www.godisalmighty.org. That's our main website, and encourage all of you to lock that into your web browsers. Lock it in. And 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can visit our main website, and you can see our different social media links. And we have links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and this program is airing live tonight, but by tomorrow evening it will be on YouTube. Let's see, Minister Antoine Brown, just saw it, Minister Brown, he was in the studio on the air, And he has a new phone number. That new phone number is 504-377-3816. So that's 504-377-3816. So he operates a prayer line, and if you want to drop him a letter or a card or contact him by mail, his address is P.O. Box 94 in Violet, Louisiana, and that's 70092. Peacekeepers of New Orleans, 504-723-3976. They are operating a beef hotline, That's the Peacekeepers of New Orleans. So if you know someone that's having a dispute, that's involved in a dispute here in the city, give the beef hotline a call, and they'll come out and help you resolve that dispute. Renaissance One is hiring certified nursing assistants. That number is 504-243-1901 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Keep hydrated, drink plenty of fluids. Children's Hospital is hiring nurses. That number, 504-899-9511. That number is open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. here in the city of New Orleans. Rock of Ages Ministries International, Apostle Ronnie Bailey. That's their main website, www.ronniebailey.com. The apostle is doing some great work, not only here in the New Orleans area, but also in Lafayette and in the greater Southwest Louisiana region. Lock that website also into your web browser. Call 311 from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. for free smoke detectors and to register for hurricane evacuation assistance. God is great all the time. He's good all the time. And he blessed us in the New Orleans area. He blessed us this hurricane season that we were spared any severe weather. So, it wasn't because of anything that we did. It's purely through the will of God that we didn't suffer as did those folks in Puerto Rico and in Florida and on the islands. We know that they're still suffering, still trying to recover. So it was only through the will of God that we were spared. So I thank God for that. But smoke detectors, the weather's getting a little bit cooler now. Folks will be turning on those space heaters, always starting fires. So, get a smoke detector. And if you call that number, they will come install one for you for free. Delta Home Care needs CNAs. And that number is 985-345-4343. And as you all see, there have been a number of announcements relating to employment. You heard me encourage all of our viewers to be a blessing in someone's life. As far as blessing Minister Brown and giving us some info about a place that he can rent. The reason we put these announcements, and I encourage you, if you know of some business that's hiring, to let us know so we can get that information out in the community. That's a blessing. Many of you sitting down right now, you have a home. You have a refrigerator with food in it. If you want to get a snack, you get a snack. You had a meal earlier today. Your children have a bed to sleep in. But there's a number of folks in our community that don't have that. Now understand what I'm telling you. There are a number of folks in our community that get up every morning, leave out their house looking for work. Some of us, I talk about we get spoiled. Some of us have gotten spoiled. We've gotten so spoiled that we have a job and we go to work. And from the minute we walk in the door at work, we complain. Yeah, we walk in oh man, that's too early for me getting up to go to work. Oh, look, I got to mess around with this fool. I don't like the way he always talking. I don't like the perfume she wearing, smelling up the whole office, smelling up every place. Oh, that person over there gossip too much. Complaining. Oh, the boss, complaining. Go to work complaining. We done got spoiled. We got so many folks in our community right now. They get up every morning and they are praying for what you already have. They're praying for a job. See, they don't care if they go to work and they got some of their co-workers as gossiping. They don't care because they're working. They're earning a paycheck. They're struggling families right now. You know, the building where my law office is, there's an organization right next door to my law office. Same building, same floor, right? The suite right next door to my suite. Unity for the homeless. For the homeless. So that's every day when I go to work. It reminds me of how blessed I am. I'm blessed. I'm not homeless. I have a home. I have a refrigerator full of food. But every day when I go to work, I see folks that are homeless and they're coming looking for help. And understand what I'm saying. You see, some of us, we've become so spoiled and our hearts have become so hardened that when we say the word homeless, immediately the picture that comes to mind, the thought that we have, what we see, what we think, oh, it's somebody that's on drugs, somebody that's an alcoholic, somebody that does not want to work. And we will say in our hearts that, oh, if they want to work, they can go find a job. There's always jobs out there to find. But let me tell you something. And this is real. For every person you see standing out there on the corner holding a sign asking for a donation, for every person that you see stand up there, they got 20 that's going out hustling every day. They're out on the street before you out there trying to find a job. They want to work. They're looking for a job. Go to the unemployment office and see the folks that are there looking for a job. See, so what I'm saying, that blessing that you have, when you wake up every morning and you going to work and you just are grumbling and mumbling, that blessing that you have that you don't appreciate, understand that it truly is a blessing. Because let me tell you something. There's a whole lot of us that are living paycheck to paycheck. Understand what I'm saying? Paycheck to paycheck. And if we miss one of those paychecks, we could be just like them folks that I see going to the suite next door. We could be homeless. You see, because when the first of the month comes around, your landlord, you might be able to tell her a sad story for a month or two. He might let you slide by. But it's going to get to a point where the landlord's going to say, look, I feel for you, but you got to go. Okay? I feel for you, but you got to go. Now understand something. Now if your finances have gotten so shaky that you can't pay your rent, how are you going to save up enough money to not only have rent, to rent another place, but you know, a lot of places now, before they'll let you in, you got to pay your first and your last month. You got to put a security deposit. So if you couldn't afford to pay your rent to start off with, how you going to have enough to pay your first and last plus a security deposit? So understand what I'm saying? You're doing all the mumbling and grumbling, going to work. You better count your blessings. And that's why we make all these announcements on this show about folks that are hiring. Ain't no telling how many folks have watched this show and they've either called those numbers themselves and gotten a job or given that information to somebody else. Yeah, look, that's an idea right there. Them telephone numbers that you saw me on that screen right now, if you got a job and you don't need a job, if you got a job, don't need a job, write them numbers down. Write them down and give that information to somebody that does need a job. Write them numbers down. All right? And if you didn't get the ones I had up earlier, call me or hit me on Facebook and I'll give you that information. Be a blessing to somebody else. Right? Be a blessing. All right? Let's see. All right, religious spiritual study. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Coming out of 1 Book of Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. All Souls Day. All Souls Day. You know, we had, what was that? Day before yesterday was Halloween. Folks was trick-or-treating. Yesterday was All Saints Day. And today, November 2nd, All Souls Day. Okay? Now, All Souls Day. What for those of you that are Catholic, you might have a little bit more familiarity with All Souls Day. And if I'm not mistaken, in the Catholic religion, All Souls Day is what they call a holy day of obligation. And what that means is you're supposed to go to church. All Souls Day. Now, what is All Souls Day? What is that? For those of you that might not know what it is. Well, for number one, in the Western Christian church, yes, there is a difference between the Western Christianity and Eastern Christianity, even though it's all Christians. In the Western Christian church, All Souls Day is celebrated every year on November the 2nd. Okay, it doesn't bounce around. You know, it doesn't. It's not like what holiday we have that changes around. What, Easter? Okay, Easter is always on a Sunday, but during the year, in various years, it's on different days. But All Souls Day is just like Christmas. It's on the same day of every year. Now, what is All Souls Day? Now, for Christians, All Souls Day is the day that Christians celebrate the souls of Christians that have died. Okay, the souls of Christians that have died. And if you're Catholic, there's some more of the Catholic theology that teaches that not only is it praying for the souls that have died, but even more specifically for those souls that are in purgatory. And it helps get souls out of purgatory. Now, I didn't have a chance. I did not have a chance to really delve into and research some information to be able to share tonight regarding purgatory. But for Catholics, part of the Catholic theology is that there's not only heaven and hell, but there's a middle step, okay? Another little place. See, a lot of Christians teach that you're either going to go to heaven or you're going to go to hell. But the Catholics have a belief that, well, there's a heaven, there's a hell, and then there's this in-between place called purgatory. So purgatory is not heaven, and it's not hell, but it's in between. And the Catholics have a teaching, a theology, a doctrine that talks about sins, that you got big sins and you have little sins. You have cardinal sins and you have venial sins. Now, if you die and you have committed a cardinal sin and you have not had a chance to go to confession and confess that to the priest, then you're going to hell. You're not going to pass go, not going to collect $200. You're going straight to hell. These other sins, though, that's called venial sins. That's kind of like a misdemeanor. All right? Just put it in plain terms. It's like a misdemeanor. All right? It's not a felony. It's a misdemeanor. So if you've committed a venial sin and you die and you didn't get a chance to go to the priest and confess it, you're not going to go to hell. You're not going to heaven, but you're not going to go to hell. You go to this place. It's called purgatory. It's like a holding cell. Okay? You're just sitting up there in purgatory. So now I don't really know if you were tortured in purgatory. I don't believe you're really tortured in purgatory. My understanding is that you're not in hell. So you're not, the fire is not burning you up, but you're not in heaven either. So that's, like purgatory. And this, what's so important about All Souls Day is if you, let's say you have a relative, okay? You have a relative that he ain't killed nobody, he didn't kill anybody. He didn't really steal anything big from anybody. He didn't break any of them 10 Commandments. But he might have did some of these little sins. And he died. And you know that before he died, he didn't get a chance to go to the priest and make a confession. So you know that his soul now is in purgatory. Well, see, you can pray him out of purgatory. You see that? You can pray. And if enough folks pray, and there's enough prayers said, he can be released, his soul can be released from purgatory, and he can go to heaven. So this is All Souls Day, and that's just a little background about purgatory, and about Catholic friends or anyone else that has a little bit more info about purgatory. Please share that. Now, I hope I didn't mess that up too bad. I think I gave a pretty accurate assessment, account of what purgatory is. But that's All Souls Day, and they're depending upon what scholar you listen to, what research you've done. There are parallels in other religions, ancient religions that predated Christianity, where they have festivals and feast days and holy days and holidays around the same time of the year. There are a lot of scholars, a lot of theologians that have said that the idea, the concept of All Souls Day, All Saints Day, that's just morphing. That's just an adaptation of other pagan holidays and holy days that existed before Christianity. But this is All Souls Day, and if you look on the calendar, some calendars will show you, it'll say on there All Souls Day, November 2nd, and then the day before that, they'll have All Saints Day, then the day before that, they'll have Halloween. Okay, we've talked quite a bit tonight. It was great having Minister Antoine Brown on the show. Our words of inspiration, we're not going to get to those tonight, but you know, that segment of our telecast, the words of inspiration, that's what they're designed for, to inspire, okay? To inspire, to let folks know that God is indeed almighty, and that's the greatest inspiration there is. And even though tonight we didn't go read through any scriptures to inspire us, we had some living, breathing inspiration here on the show tonight. And I was not trying to be flip earlier when I talked about Minister Brown, when I talked about him being an inspiration. I was not trying to be flip. I was being very, 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 very serious. See, sometimes, just a minute ago, I talked about how spoiled we get. We have blessings and we get spoiled. We have a job that we're going to grumble and mumble about going to work. We're overlooking the blessing that having a job is in and of itself a blessing. Sometimes we'll have things like our health. I got 2 legs right now. That's a blessing. No matter what I'm going through right now, it's a blessing. Mr. Brown is here on the show. He's talking about he's looking for a place to live, and he's still blessed to be able to come on this show and praise God. Just like Job, when Job was full of boils, when he had lost all his children, lost his friends, lost his wife, and he still praised God. That in and of itself was a blessing. So that's inspiration. That's been our inspiration tonight. And as we close the show, let that inspiration be that no matter what your condition in life, God can still bless you to be able to say, thank God, thank you for the blessings that you've given me. As I close up tonight, it's my prayer as always, no matter whatever you have to go through in this upcoming week, that God Almighty blesses you and yours with peace.